Hey, you want the smoke? I got the smoke. Let's talk about it. All right. Uh, SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown. All right. Wasn't too bad of a show. Um, it was okay. Thank God it wasn't a lot of talking like it was on Raw, but it was okay. Um, let's get started. Let's talk about it. But let me say this first. Thank you for joining my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. All right. LA Knight comes out to the ring. You know, starts talking about the things that happened, that caused him his number one contender match against Jacob Fatu, blaming Damian Priest for coming in and, you know, causing him to lose the title match. Although Solo Sikoa was the one that attacked him, gave him the spike. Damian Priest comes out, and they're both saying that they don't have anything against each other, but yet they're still talking and blaming each other for the causes of what's going on. So Damian said, "Well, let's settle it, and let's have a match." So they have a match. The match is okay, pretty back and forth, pretty decent, and then here comes Solo Sikoa again. And so the match ends up in the no contest DQ. Then LA Knight and Damian Priest start beating up on Solo Sikoa, and then out comes Jacob Fatu, and you know the rest. Jacob Fatu takes the upper hand, and he destroys or tries to destroy um, LA Knight and Damian Priest, which he eventually does. Hip attack on Damian Priest, and he put LA Knight through the table. So then we move on to Fraxium against Pretty Deadly, which was a pretty okay match. There was a few things that was botched in the match. It was fast paced, as far as Fraxium is concerned. Um, Pretty Deadly. I mean, it was a match. It was together. It was okay, but, ooh, Lord. Ethan Gibbs caught a good one. Nathan Frazier, when he does that moonsault off the top rope, I mean, his elbow landed right on Ethan's face. And I think it knocked him out because they gave him a 3 count, which should have been a 2.5 count. But Fraxium ended up winning that match anyway. So I guess it didn't matter, but it looked pretty nasty. Yeah, his mouth was done and he was out of it. So, and then we move on to a little segment with Meechin and BFAB. They're talking to Nick Aldis, asking them to get a chance when Liv Morgan comes back from doing her movie shoot and stuff for a shot at the women's tag team's title. I don't understand why there's only one women's tag team title with WWE because they used to have 2 on both brands. Yeah, used to have 3 on all 3 brands. But I don't know what happened to the NXT women's tag title or the SmackDown women's tag title. They just been going off the tag titles from Raw. So hopefully someday they might bring those titles back, make them relevant again and stuff. So we'll see. And then we have the Miz come out, Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Miz, is talking about, Alister Black and what happened last week. And Alister Black gave him, he hit him with the doggone Black Mace. And so I think, the Miz is still feeling something on that. So now him and Alistair Black, are in the match tonight. And it's okay match and everything. Nothing to, do flips about and everything. But eventually, Alistair Black again catches the Miz with the black mask and puts the Miz down for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And so then you get the segment with Santos Escobar, saying, talking to Ray Phoenix, telling how Ray Phoenix, failed and stuff, and how, he wasn't a good luchador wrestler, and how he let Rey Mysterio down. And, Santos Escobar is talking about himself, that he's the best luchador and stuff. So, and then Ray Phoenix said, well, we'll find out. Let's find out tonight. So later on, they'll have a match. Then we move on to Zelina Vega, versus Piper Niven and stuff. And I don't understand why that they're putting Piper Niven with Zelina Vega. I mean, it's just going back and forth with the same people. There's no storyline. I would figure that since Zelina won the title against Chelsea Green, it would be more expected for Chelsea to, ask for a rematch and stuff like that. But I remember them saying that there were no more rematch clauses, but I guess that went into the backfield because now they're able to ask for the clause for a rematch and stuff. So Chelsea was asking for that, but then Nick Aldis changed it and gave the match to Piper Niven. So Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven, and Zelina wins the match. Chelsea tries to interfere, it didn't happen, and Zelina gets the pin over Piper Nevins. Yeah. So then we have Jacob Fatu and Solo Sokoa. Nick Aldis basically said, "Look, if you guys want to have this match, he'll make it a fatal four-way." So now we have Solo Sokoa, not Solo Sokoa. We have Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Backlash, fatal four-way for the U.S. title match. It really makes zero sense to me. We'll just see. I just think they're just throwing things together. Hopefully, stuff starts coming out and it gets better because SummerSlam is right around the corner, and that's in August. So we'll see what happens from there. Then Randy Orton comes out. He talks about John Cena and how John Cena, you know, bases himself on loyalty, respect, and all that stuff, and that he says that the Lord John Cena has no more loyalty, that he is his words, John Cena is now a toy to be played with by the ultimate puppet master. So he's saying that John Cena is a figure that is being played by The Rock and TKO and stuff. So I mean, it is true. I mean, John Cena has done everything as far as with the situation with Cody Rhodes, you know, then with The Rock, and it's just all messed up, that whole situation. And I can understand Randy Orton being as mad as he is because John Cena said that he was going to retire, champion in a race, everybody, and we know Randy Orton's he's got some background as far as his, family, Bob Orton Sr. and Bob Orton Jr. Yeah. So I think Randy Orton is going to have a good match with John Cena at Backlash. Hopefully he may be able to win the title, but I don't think so. But anyway, we're going to move on to Ray Phoenix and Santos Escobar. The match was an okay match and everything. It was pretty cool. Wasn't really that bad. You know, things that you would expect as far as the two, as far as being luchadors and moving in the ring. And Ray Phoenix ultimately wins that match. And then we come down to the main event with Nia Jax, Naomi versus Jade Cargill, and Tiffany Stratton. The match was okay until it just exploded. and stuff. I mean, it was a real good match. In the end, Jade Cargill pins Nia Jax, which was good, and and stuff. And then it exploded. You know, Naomi comes back in. She gets the best of Jade Cargill. She gets the best of Jade and stuff. Tiffany is put out by Nia. Um, and Naomi stands strong with the belt in her hand, raising the belt. So I don't know if that's saying something down the road that Naomi may end up being, the women's champion. We'll see. We shall see. And I'll be the one to let you know. So if you agree, disagree, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit that bell for next content. Leave me a comment, talk to me, let me know how you're feeling. All right, so we're going to get into this. SmackDown now at the end of the month on the last SmackDown, last Friday of May this month. SmackDown is going to be going back to a 2 hour show, so it won't be a 3 hour show anymore. And then we have some releases from WWE, and some of them are pretty surprising. You got Braun Strowman, you got Dakota Kai. I can see Dakota Kai because she is injury prone and stuff, and they haven't really been using her for anything like that. But the Braun Strowman, I mean, he's had some good matches with Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu. He was on a roll, so I'm not sure what happened with that and why they released him or let him go. You got Cora Jade from NXT that is gone. Um, you got Shana Bazler. They got rid of Shayna Baszler. Wow, and she was good too. It's just that sometimes I don't think they use these um, men and women as they need to, because it seems like they just keep repeating the wrestlers over and over and all these little unnecessary, untold storylines and stuff. So I don't know what WWE or Triple H or TKO or The Rock. It's confusing, And then you got Caden Carter, Catana Chance, and Jakara Jackson, all from NXT, and Caden Carter and Catana Chance, they was a pretty good female tag team. Like I've been saying before, they've had, you know, the Ross women's tag team title, they had a SmackDown women's tag team title, and they had NXT women's tag team title. The NXT title, tag team titles, and the SmackDown tag team title are gone. So hopefully they'll bring them back, give a little bit more to the women to be around. They need to utilize the women properly in all three stages of WWE. And I don't think that they are. They want all this young talent to come in, but they're not doing anything with the older talent or anything like that. So I don't know. And then Eddie Thorp from NXT is gone. Riley Osborn, who was with Chase University, is gone. GiGi Dolen, who just had a match Tuesday in the tag team match. It's just crazy. And she's gone. Uh, the group Galus, they're gone. They're just letting people go. So I'm sure probably you might see them go to AEW or try to figure it out and re-sign. I don't know what's going on, but that's a lot of releases and everything. And I think, I don't know where WWE is going with NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. It's some of the matches just make zero sense, but it's a brand. Hopefully, they'll bring it back to what it was a year or two ago. We just need some more excitement. But anyway, thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel. Um, hit that bell for next notification. God bless. Deuces, deuces, deuces. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.